Hi, I'm Tanisha.
And I'm JC.
This is True Speez.
Where we shed our light
On the truth.
It's been a while, okay?
Yeah.
Like, let's just agree with that. We hadn't been doing shows because there's been so many consistent issues, you know what I mean? And I guess we had it so broad, but now it's time to hone it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
We had talked earlier, you know, there's been a lot of conversations because like I say, we got to hone it in. So many things have happened in between now and the last show we did. You know, you got George Floyd's death, Ahmaud Arbery's death, Breonna Taylor's death, et cetera, et cetera. And what we were talking about earlier, you know what I'm saying, was just, it was driven to the point that we had established that what's necessary is a black presence. Like, the black face has to be protected. It has to show that it has a fierce protection about it. But we are pretty much the only race that don't have that representation.
Right.
So we are treated like we are treated continuously. So you got so many things, you know what I mean? We had talked about it earlier. Get you engaged in, baby. Hold up. You know, like you say earlier, it's just talking. I'm just chiming in.
Right. Rapper, I just shouted. They gave me under pressure.
No, I mean, to be wrong is wrong. We got camera edits. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like, think about it. Like, to be wrong is wrong. Just, you know, you jumped in too fast, right? We're going to make this a little wild. Let's chill back. Let's just, you know what I'm saying? Keep the people with us for a little bit. Show them what we capable of. You know what I'm saying? I mean.
Okay. Well, so basically, we was conversating about how the black community have all these destructions. You know, the destruction of the black household, the kids, marriages, women, men. And so basically, how can we fix it? How can we put it all back together?
Yeah, to me, that's very valid. You know what I'm saying? Looking at it from that standpoint, because so many things have happened that have worked against us, you know, against the favor of us working together and everybody playing their part. And I mean, if you look at all the different agendas that ain't directly attacking blacks, it's still affecting blacks because of how many things are already affecting blacks. So it's just another thing piled on. So for instance, what I mean by that is like a feminist movement. You know, women feeling like they could do it just as well as we can, but there's still the presence that's lacking. So, you know, the only thing that you're gonna get from that is destruction.
Right. And I'm just gonna say, I like being feminine. You know, I don't want to be out there trying to do what men can do. You know, but for the longest, you know, when you come from a broken household, like a lot of us did come from, you know, mothers and grandmothers and aunties not showing you what a woman's supposed to be doing or acting like, so to speak. You know, we get this rough exterior thinking we could do just what men do or better, and then that's when we wind up fighting with our spouse because we don't give them the position that they deserve because we want to hold both our positions.
And that ain't no play to the aunties and grandmothers out there that's doing what you were taught. You know what I mean? But what we are doing, we're establishing how there's a dominant difference in, I want to say race. You know, not that there weren't any exceptional people in our race. You know, we had people that benefited from that. But it's a lot of people in our race that didn't have those benefits.
Right.
And the thing is that, you know, we understand that, ladies, y'all were doing what y'all had.
Right. And how do you move past that?
Well, I mean.
You know, when you didn't have it.
Well, I mean, right now, at this time, it's kind of hard to think about. It's hard to, you know, because there's a lot of work involved because it's going to take a lot of acting. You know what I mean? Like, you're basically doing what you think is right in the situation and not your learned behavior. Like, there's two different types of behavior. You go to school to be educated for one of them, and then there's the behavior that can't nobody teach you. It's hard to take away from you. Can't somebody else just walk in your situation and pull out your learned behavior?
Right.
And that's the same precipice that I'm talking about. You know, we've been taught so many things, and right now because we didn't go to school for it, we don't feel like we was taught it. And that's not.
And then it's hard to drop that learned behavior, you know, because it's part of you. It's what made you you, so you thought it was made you you, and you hold it dear, but you find out that most of those learned behaviors is messing up your life and messing up your relationships and your work relationships and your kids, and you gotta let some of it go, but some of it just not doing you no good. You got to understand, like, even though I was taught this in my household, I have to look at other women who set another example and see how they're maneuvering through life and how they're making it work for them. That's what I had to do anyway.
I look at women and the creatures that they are, and if I understand this well, you guys were here first. It wasn't even a man around.
Right.
And so when I watch women do what they do, I see it like it already has its own safety net to protect itself. So if they decide to be lesbians, it's still going to protect itself because we had this thing called parthenogenesis that reptiles do now. And humans don't have it now. We have the male species.
Right.
And it seems a little unorthodox to talk about that. I get that it's deep, but this just added a little education to a conversation. But the thing is that even if all the men do die off, you guys will still be here.
Right.
And that's the thing that right now sets apart the work that has to be done, because some don't have to do the work because they'll still exist. Their species will still be here.
Right.
And you won't be represented as a fierce force, strong force. But you guys will probably become strong women again, right? But the thing is,
but not strong enough to we don't need men, you know. So yeah, we become strong again in a sense of probably mind, but physical strength, we'd never really get physical strength. That was the whole point of men in the first place, you know, the physical strength to help protect the black race, you know, because we had to sit and take care of the black race when like you say, nurturing and taking care of the kids and this and that. But once we unlearned that and thought we were supposed to be the men of the house. So, but like now, so how do we get that power back? Because we can't, like I said, we would never be physically strong to carry the whole black race.
I also think that what you see women do right now, it's kind of like a reflection of women seeing how black men are being targeted. So they're playing both parts.
Right.
They like, okay, well, I'm going to have to do this and do that. But there was another counter that would involve working on your black male.
Right.
You know, who's so mixed up in this confusion because, in my opinion, he's receiving love from everybody else except his own at this time.
Right, because it's like even, like I look on Facebook, it's like the women hold black men to such low standards. It's like, I don't be understanding. Like I see the post how they said, well, it don't say black men, but it say, if a man had a good woman at home, will he still cheat? But a lot of women, the woman who posted is black, the woman who answering the question is black. So I'm just saying, how are y'all holding y'all men to such low standards? You know, if you with a man, you think he gonna cheat on you eventually, why are you even with him? And I don't understand how y'all sit there and hold men to such low standards, but then when men do it to y'all, y'all get upset. It's like it goes, it never stops. The fight never stops. It's like, let's start holding men to higher standards, and they'll start holding us to higher standards. Let's stop the petty fight.
I think there's so many things that happen with that. You get the arguing forces of people, because the one female that say, no, that ain't gonna happen. He ain't gonna cheat on me.
Right.
She gonna get the attention of 90 women that have been cheated on. That's gonna make her explain every aspect of whatever it is, but it's all in dealing with not trusting in your instincts, right? Then what it's also gonna do is show and prove that my wife is an oddball in the situation, because if 90% of the women are saying, yeah.
And a lot of these women got men at home.
Right.
I'm like,
and
you think your man gonna cheat on you?
And she is the only one saying no. Is like it's showing us how big of a problem that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it is a lot of work involved that people will not put forth an effort towards, or they're directing the wrong direction because we're focused thinking that we need to fix this as a group.
Right.
Your life in that department is only your life. So we're going to break down a few narratives here we had earlier, you know, to give example on what it is, because, you know, we've been through several things.
Yes.
We have had the chemical distress of sabotage in our relationship.
Oh, yeah.
We have had the chemical, and I'm saying chemical distress because it's like everything in a relationship is a science experiment. But this one chemical, when introduced, it made the whole thing toxic. You know, but we had to endure long enough to pull that up out of it.
Right.
Like, you know, like notice that it's not working, because the worst thing that could happen is I could point out that you're sabotaging, or she could point out that I'm sabotaging.
Right.
And that's not going to get any work resolved or work done or the situation resolved, because What it is that I don't want you to see me. Don't see me, right? Don't tell me what I'm doing.
Exactly.
And that is the world in actuality,
Right.
because you can easily see what somebody else is doing that ain't right.
But you can't see yourself.
Right, and it's impossible to. And now, just addressing in the relationship, there have been a lot of tear downs. We could tear down a person's confidence in a relationship.
Definitely.
How could you expect it if it's the man tearing down the woman?
Mm-hmm.
How could you expect that your children are going to be nurtured
Right.
in the way that they need
They
to
won't.
be nurtured? And how did you expect that you, the man,
Right.
will be nurtured?
He won't.
It's things that has to happen, but that
Yeah.
man has to be cautious what things in his life is he carrying into his marriage.
Right.
Some of these things we have to shed ourselves of. Even in relationships, you got to shed yourself of the past relationships
Right.
so that you can move forward in this relationship. You know,
But a lot of us we don't even take past relationship hurts. We just take, like we was talking about earlier, we take our learned behaviors and bring them to the relationship, and we swear on Bible that's how it's supposed to be done and how it's supposed to work. But in reality, it's not. You know, you're taking old hurts and old pains and putting them on somebody totally new who didn't grow up in the same household you
There
grew
you
up
go.
in, or nothing. But we hold them to them same exact standards that we grew up in. And it's like it's gonna end bad. It's gonna end bad every time.
the fact is that no matter how old you are, you're still malleable. You know, I know people don't want to see that,
Right.
but
That is true.
you're still influenced by what the next person doing if they make it look good enough.
Right.
If I give you a good enough headline to make you see what I'm talking about, if I caption it properly, you gonna go with the flow of exactly whatever it is I'm talking about. And that's how they introducing such wrongdoings to the world, right? You know, they introducing the colony to this under the headline of that.
Right.
And man, I mean, right now, I don't need to go into specifics about that. That is not the important part. The thing is the things that's being pointed out here. You know, again, you got the confidence level stripped away from the man or the woman. Let's go with the directive of the man. Well, listen, education, footnote, back in like 1890 something, they had decided that the children are no longer going to go with the man upon breaking up because the man was established the heir to the property. He everything was his property. Woman don't want to no longer be his property. Well, he get to keep the kids. Well, 1890 something, they just determined that a lot of women was committing suicide. You know, after the kids was going with the dad. So they're like, damn, well, let's see if we can save some lives by doing this.
Right.
Now, let's stick with that same thing where you leave these kids with a woman and you don't no longer want to be with her. First thing you show her is rejection. How's a rejected person going to raise your kids?
Right.
That's a scary thought. You don't want to leave your kids with a person that had to deal with all these different feelings that come with rejection.
Right.
I like for my kids to deal with rejection at an early age. Go try and get a girlfriend. You know, girls going to be like, I can't. My dad don't know. Right? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, without you there as a male, right? You know, that woman is left to deal with so many feelings, so many, oh man,
Right.
like she could become bitter. And she's raising these children. So now let's look at the attack that was pushed on us with the drugs. You know, crack into the community, once it was introduced, it was a wrap. Everything worked out in the favor of, because here's the thing, crack was introduced to big cities first. What was the black man's plight when he was escaping slavery? Let me get up here with a bunch of black people at. And black people don't realize, if you watch Snowfall, the creation of crack was so that you could afford cocaine.
Right.
Cocaine to me is not a drug that's for black people anyway. The color of it says something. You get what I'm saying? Like, it has no color to it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you know, we went for it, you know, full steam ahead. And then now once the home is broken up, what are you going to do?
Right.
You know?
But I'm gonna go back a little bit because some points that I want to touch on. Playing devil advocate is like, so I'm talking to the black men right now. So it's like playing devil's advocate. If you get a woman pregnant and then you dip out because you can't handle the pressure of the pregnancy or the baby coming this and that, and when the baby get here and the woman is so mentally distraught from what she went through, but then you put the blame on her for not raising your child right, but yet you dipped out in the beginning of her how I put it, nurturing that seed in the womb. So it's like when you don't care about that part of the whole thing, you don't care about the person who's carrying your child, you can't put all the blame on the woman for the downfall of the child, because like I say, we all play a part in raising these kids, bringing these kids here, and making sure that the black race or the human race or whatever, your family, let's bring it all closer to home, make sure your family is okay. But once you leave, you can't then turn around and say it's the black woman's fault that the community is the way it is. And black women, we can't say it's the black man's fault the community is the way it is, because we all play a part in the whole situation. That's how I see it.
I need to be able to play this back to touch on this like it needs to be touched on, you know, because we're still playing devil's advocate. So my response is from the advocacy that you played towards the devil in the situation. I need to know every detail you said, because I'm missing this. I think that one went over my head, but perhaps, you know, all right, listen. The only thing I really have towards that and to respond to it, if a man has shown you no level of responsibility, y'all just having fun together.
True.
Then I can't expect that a man would ever show a form of responsibility until you do it in the proper steps. So a lot of people, you know, just responding, I guess you play devil's advocate, I'm gonna play God's advocate. The response to that would be, first come love, then come marriage, then come the baby and the baby carriage.
Right. Sure.
Because if you do it out of order, let's look at what all a man leaves if he's married, right? He's leaving his spouse, he's leaving his children, he's leaving this, that, and the third.
The marriage in itself.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, typically in a marriage, you get a house, you get cars, you get this, that, and the third. All those things that you have together that you finna leave behind.
Right.
But playing house is exactly that, playing house. You know, you gotta hope and pray that he will do what he needs to for all these other situations he need to be responsible for. But the fact is, when you just having a little fun and then that shit turns into a boatload of responsibility, that can scare off any individual. You know, but like I say, nowadays women are made to stay with the kid. When back in the day it was like, hey, you go in with the man.
Yeah, but okay, a lot of women are made to stay with the kids, but a lot of women can't handle it.
Right,
a lot of women snap and they kill their kids, and then they held responsible for what happened. Like, it makes no sense. Like, watching this show, and this girl has a known mental illness, and she called her baby daddy and told him, cause they got joint custody. So one weekend she got him, one weekend he got him, and it was her weekend to have their baby. Okay, get mad, he about 6'7", but she called him and said, I'm having trouble dealing with him today. Can you please come pick him up? Yeah. He said, nah, it's your weekend. You handle it. So now, and she said, and he knows she got mental problems. So when she asked for help and she didn't get it, it's like, what are you supposed to do? Then now she hurt the baby or hurt herself, she going to be looked at as, oh, she's a bad mom. But she asked for help from the baby dad, and she didn't get it because he said, "I know you got it your weekend, you got it. I'm not playing with you. I'm not finna fall for this and this and that." It's like he didn't take her serious with what she just said. I'm saying that's the problem with a lot of relationships these days. The woman will ask for help, cry out for help, but the man look at her like, "You got it. You can handle it because you the mom." So we need to understand how everybody need help. So you can't just say, "Oh, you got it," just because she hurt that child, and then now she the bad mom. It don't make no sense.
Communication is real. When somebody tells you that their heart is heavy and I can't handle something today,
right?
You need to believe them.
Exactly.
Communication is real. To me, if, you know, I mean, we married, so we got to look at this differently. But if we were single, you know, co-parenting situation, and she tells me that this is going on, unless I told her, hey, because you got to communicate each weekend. We transporting human beings back and forth every other weekend. But the thing is unless I told her, well, you know, this is the big deal. Well, I was going to sign my record deal this weekend, or I was going to renew my record deal this weekend. However, I should have enough resources on my side that somebody would be willing to help.
Exactly.
Like, so, because she said that, okay, boom, okay, I might have to call Auntie Ann to come pick up kids because she having a hard time dealing. But that is for adults to work out in the situation. The big thing here we have to stick to the prime of the subject, the real prime in the matter. And that is the fact that there is no black representation as far as showing that we are a force to be reckoned with.
Right.
We aren't taken serious when it comes to our issues. But bottom line, these are narratives that are painted in movies about us, everything we're talking about.
We don't take our own issues serious.
Absolutely.
It's conversations that people should be having all the time. This right here.
Absolutely.
Black men, black people should have this conversation right now, all the time. I mean, sometimes it hurt. Sometimes you don't want to hear it, but sometimes it needs to be talked about. It needs to be said. It's only how we gonna get over the hurt, the pain, and the what I'm looking for, the disconnect.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know what you're looking for. Look.
The disconnect. You gotta get over that.
Well, like I say, here we are at a place without the representation. So without representation, if Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton old asses is what we're calling representation, that means that there are generations of people that have not been taken serious and they still lean towards these two to say what's going on in our community.
Right.
These two are out of touch with what's going on in our community. And then our community is falling further and further apart.
Right.
Now, I keep it as simple as saying it's poverty thinking. Poverty thinking is what's continuously tearing our representation apart, because with poverty thinking, there comes lack of work. With lack of work, you're not willing to do what needs to be done, and it's the simple things. The simple things are all what's traditional. We are following a new school agenda. Everything new keep coming out the next day, and if you feeling like you behind, listen, we about to be 40. Not trying to tell our age and all that.
I tell it all the time.
But what I'm saying is, by now we should have picked something and stuck with it until we die.
Right.
But if we're constantly following the things that's coming up, the next question, like she said, the hypothetical, if you a good woman and got a man, is he gonna cheat? That's a hypothesis that's gonna lead all the people into the direction of believing that there is no man that's faithful, no man that's full in monogamy. But however, let's look at monogamy. Monogamy is a place that gives awareness that we as people are in trouble. Why? Because there are 7 women to 1 man. You feel me? Like, so we're dealing with 6 women single as hell. Why? Right? And that's going to start a whole nother agenda. Once those women, the ones left behind, get an agenda that presses for them, it works into their favor. So for instance, Black Lives Matter being led by 3 women that are lesbians.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so.
That don't work for everybody.
Right. You know, how is a lesbian's agenda gonna fix the black problem? That's why
it sure ain't.
Right. That's why black lives really don't matter until it's a cop that took one. Black people are killing each other all the time. Stand out there on those city streets and intervene.
Right.
People will not do nothing if it's more witnesses than you have bullets.
Right. True. And then, but Black Lives Matter it's like, how do Black Lives Matter when it's like, it's mainly gay, lesbian, bi? How do Black Lives Matter?
Things that crush black existence.
Right. You ain't even producing black life no more. So how does black life even matter when you done said, the hell with black life, I want to get with this woman, I want to get with this man. I ain't even produce black life no more. So the whole statement makes no sense, but people get so wrapped up into the whole Black Lives Matter thing. They get so brainwashing condition. They just run with it. They don't even question it, ask it, go Google it, go look at nothing about it.
Right. You hear the title of it and it makes sense, and you try to make it make sense for you and your cause.
But it don't.
Right. There's nothing in there if you are a man, a heterosexual male, raising your family.
Right.
They don't want none of that agenda involved in Black Lives Matter. But why is that such a fly thing and so easy to go with, even though it's in writing in their website? Right? Well, hey, here we are as a community. We fell for everything. You might as well just put it bold print in their face. The motherfuckers ain't gonna get no. They gonna hear the chatter and the chants. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. And when they first started saying it, yes, it started. It started a movement at a time when Mike Brown, a black child being killed. You know what I'm saying, by the police officers. This happened, that happened, all these certain incidents. Yeah, it was big, but guess what? When the cops are over here facing Black Lives Matter, but they go on the website and read what it was about, they're going to be like, oh, they don't care. I'm going to keep doing what I was doing.
Especially when black people kill black people and they don't show up.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, where were y'all at this incident or that incident? So they don't care. You don't care, and then you put this out. So what we were getting at.
Even if they do go to jail, That's they thing. Because when black folks kill black folks, they want to go to jail. Okay, but still, Black Lives Matter still show up and show their presence to let people know that we're not gonna tolerate it by nobody. But they don't show up at all.
Especially when it's black children that got killed in gunfire. In a hail of gunfire, black child died. No Black Lives Matter member shows up. It was every weekend since George Floyd got killed, it has been a child in Chicago that has been killed. Black Lives Matter are not coming out there to make a stance.
Right.
It should be a stance being made in those ghetto neighborhoods in Chicago, trying to show, hey man, you kill one, we gonna start pointing y'all out. We gonna stay here. We gonna put cameras out that are Black Lives Matter cameras to give the information to the cops, because y'all just as wrong as the cops is. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to be beheld.
George Soros was almost like George Soros.
You need to be beheld in the same standard that we trying to behold these cops to. But what is the problem? There's no black representation. Somebody could come in here and say Black Lives Matter like George Soros. Like, let me fund that. Wow, it could make a lot of money. Listen to all them people chatter.
And deceive a lot of people.
Yeah, but we could put him in charge of it, and then, hey, now it don't have no real representation. It's still in representation out of the community. Matter of fact, every dollar that went into Black Lives Matter, because dollars is another representation of your spirit.
It went to the Democrat Party.
Your dollar is another representation of your spirit. And all the money and funds that have been put together for Black Lives Matter, look at where it has went.
It went for the Black lives.
But the main thing is black men, heterosexual black men, that are trying to be a strong force to be reckoned with within their family.
Right.
This means nothing for you now, right? So I'm going to say this. Here it is. The black representation has been bought out. It's been paid for. Yeah. You've paid for it in spirit and soul. Every dollar that went towards it has snatched the soul out the black man, so you don't have a face that's ready to stand for the community. And that spread so far. So you started it right there, and now all of a sudden, hey, no money has entered into the pocket of my wife, but my wife will be able to tear me down easy now. Why? Because the world goes this way. It's easy for her to do it. She don't have nothing to resist. She goes full forward with it, and that ain't saying that she's doing it. But what I'm saying is that's these other women. They have no boundaries holding them back.
Right.
And guess what? They have been paid so they could promote. They could do this, that, and the third. Black Lives Matter got so much money that come in every month, and they can promote and do whatever towards whatever their agenda is, whatever they're about, and read what they're about. You'll understand why my emphasis at this point is saying something. But
they've been going hard in the black community. They've been making sure they got y'all under lock and key with all their ploys. They deceiving and all that. It's like, okay, and people keep on telling people that the Black Lives Matter movement is about the gay community, and George Soros is the one who funded it, and lesbians the ones who started it. The more we speak about it, is like the more y'all love Black Lives Matter.
Right.
I don't get it.
Y'all call people like us conspiracy theorists, but the shit is on their website.
Right.
I call people like you dummies.
Right. Don't like to go read. Don't like to go read, research nothing. Y'all just gonna take it for what somebody told y'all to take it for. But when somebody who the same color as you tell you what's up, you just a conspiracy theorist and this and that. Now just go look it up for yourself.
So now to say that I'm going against Black Lives Matter, now you're saying you're going with black heterosexual males doing what they have to do. But guess what? We've allowed everybody's ideology to fall on us that no matter what, we don't roll with men no more. Right. Black don't roll with men no more. Listen, every community, the Bible even says, and not to go here, I ain't Bible thumping, but it says that the sons of God got with the daughters of men, and that's how so all that means to me is every time that a war has been won, the only thing that stopped them was like, ooh, look at them women though, right? And so they are steady driving their forces after our women so that they could take them. Listen, black woman is treasured. We make everything look good as black, right? Like, we over here at the bottom suffering, can't hardly breathe, suffocating.
Still look good.
Right, still look good. They like, damn, they make the bottom look good. We want to join them, right? But the thing is, right, we're not putting our positions where we can fix the world's issues any longer.
Right. That's why we need to get to is getting back to the positions of power and getting ourselves in them offices and making sure we are seen and heard at all times. Like I say, we need a seat at that table. Period. We need to sit at that table so we can be heard and represent ourselves. Because we let everybody else represent us, like how we should feel, how we should move. This is the name we running with it. Y'all trying to let Kamala Harris us up in here. That bitch is whole Indian. But y'all finna tell her, y'all finna let her tell y'all how y'all supposed to feel, how y'all supposed to move and maneuver through things. Fuck out of here.
Right. So, now just to touch on a little bit of what's needed to fix it. Right? And, I mean, I had talked to her
Communication.
Right.
That's one.
Communication is big, yes. However,
Yes.
in communicating, listen, I believe that black women believe their opinions don't matter so much that even when the opinion isn't required, they give an opinion. And it's like, listen, as my woman, it's only certain things that I really need from you. Now, as my helpmeet, is different things that I need from you. As my helpmate, whatever we want to call it, as the co-signer of my crib, is certain things that I need from you.
Right.
Right? But when I have the world coming against me, the thing I need from you, I need you to be what you're good at. You were born this way. You were born a woman. You are the nurturing department of this thing called life.
Right.
We as men are nature in this thing called life. We go out here and experience the life in its movement. Mm-hmm. Now, because of the things that have happened in the world, women are responsible as well. However, there's that one thing that's still required, that nurture. No man on this earth is equipped to nurture. Even the guys that's playing homosexual right now, they are still not equipped to nurture. However, they are more liberal than anything else. Hey, just do what you want to do.
Right. So my thing was, when he said that man is not equipped to nurture, so it's like, so who do we need? Who do we need that nurturing from? You know, because we need it as well. You know, we ain't just here to be nurturing every day everybody else. We want to be nurtured and coddled and looked after. So that was the question, like, where do we get our nurturing from?
Well,
and
and what?
You know, discussion was from other women. Okay, so that goes back to the point that so we gotta fix everybody and everything. We gotta fix men and fix women.
Right.
So it's like that's a lot. That's heavy.
I think that as a human being, understanding who brings life into this world.
True.
Yes, we plant the seed. But we do not carry the sensitive parts of the seed.
Right.
Like, so for instance, we walking around here all day long, the world coming against us, guys and girls alike, girl kick us in our nuts, we can still have kids. A woman get pregnant, another woman kicks that woman in her belly, a man kicks her in her belly, she could lose that baby. She is instantly prepped for 9 months to become a nurturer. Now, I want to give emphasis to that time frame because they say it takes 10,000 hours to become a professional at anything. 9 months, every day, hour in, hour out, you're going to touch those 10,000 hours. You have that.
Some women do touch them hours, some women don't.
Right. Well,
they have to connect once baby get here, like the men have to connect once baby get here.
Right. But that's still the nurturing aspect. That's the same mentality. You're protecting this guy from his emotions, because guys ain't naturally emotional, you know, but what they have done with the world, it has made it normal that men become emotional. We can't be emotional creatures and expect to uphold a household, expect to have a reverend household. We supposed to be doing shit logically. We supposed to do war tactics logically. However, we have a book that's telling everything about war that we read from an emotional level, the Bible itself. That thing is every war recorded up until the point that they had social media now. Because they used to hide these things. I'm going to put these notes down here and say what they did. Right? Now, they got social media now. They putting everything out there. I'm going to share this 1,000 times. Right? Because nobody on Facebook right now could get 6,000 people on a live feed if they at the right thing.
Right.
If they at the George Floyd murder scene or the riots,
you can get a bunch of views.
Right? The people who ain't coming outside, they're going to be fooling with you the most. But the thing is, here we are, we got so many things to fix. And yes, women, you're going to have to nurture women too. But that's something that came with being a woman back in the day. Now, because of some feminist movement, that's what I'm going to say. Because of some feminist movement, women don't have what it is that they should have for each other.
Okay, so now I'm gonna play devil's advocate again because I don't think it was the feminist. It could have been a feminist movement, but I'm also like we talked about earlier. I'm also say it's men. Men don't know how to put women. Like women, y'all gonna hate me for this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Men don't know how to put certain women in their place. You know what I mean? So it's like when a man has a wife, that's his wife. He may have a friend he talk to for whatever he got to talk to about, and a friend for this and a friend for that. But if he don't let them women know where they stand in his life, and they start acting a fool, trying to be the wife or step on her toes or come for her spot, then that's when it becomes a problem. That's when I can't nurture nobody who's trying to come for my spot. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna play God's advocate.
That bitch got to go.
I'm gonna play God's advocate in that. That is, to me, missing the subject. You know what I'm saying? Like that's at hand. This is so big. That is how big the job is. I would look for my way out of it too. I'd be like, that's too much work. Hold on. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead, be your God's advocate.
But there's so much work involved in it. And the thing is that, listen, it's even from a flower that you plant. You got to work it from day in, day out. You may not be getting the growth that you want from it. However, you're introducing a situation as devil's advocate that still involves a man. Listen, as women have grown and gotten older, a man ain't necessarily had to come between those two women, but those two women who could have been best friends will eventually fall apart. You know, they're not there for the embrace that only a woman can provide. And they're found in a situation seeking something from men that men just aren't equipped to give.
Okay. Okay. But okay, that whole nurturing. Okay, I get that. Y'all not equipped to give the nurturing part. But like I say, keeping in alignment, being that leader. That's what men are. That's what they do. So when you can't keep all your so-called female friends or whatever in a certain line or order as a leader, then you're not doing your job as a leader. You just being messy now. You just trying to have it all, and you want them to bicker and fight. You feel like you the man. You know, this is just my interpretation of it. You know, I could be all the way wrong. But once a man stop leading and letting, you know, putting what they supposed to be, it's like now you creating the chaos and the mess.
No, I mean, just talking no longer God's advocate and just talking because she just talking.
You right.
You know, I mean, a woman in your life has to have a place to be able to go in. Otherwise, she may not be in your life like that. You know, so if you're showing a person that they're your friend, okay, well, you know, what she's saying, I believe, is that, hey, let them know, hey, you just my friend. You know what I'm saying? I could leave you in a heartbeat. You feel what I'm saying? I could be in a position where I can't mess with you like that. You don't believe it? Well, just wait and see. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, here it is, the embrace that women have to have for each other. Like, I mean, we have seen, I don't know if everyone's seen Birth of a Nation, but when Nat Turner saw his wife, the one he wanted, and she was all, you know, she looked homeless. She looked like she didn't even have a plantation to go to. She was in bad shape. She could have been a runaway or whatever the case may be. When he found her, he took her to the other women, and they nursed her back to life. They gave her the healing that was necessary. And now, just to bring it, point it back in a little more, like even I watched as my grandma, you know, was nurturing to her friends. She wouldn't give her opinion. She hit the, well, I say button. Well, I say. Like, dang, that is messed up. And when I'm saying what we need from women, for women, and for men, adjust that messed up situation. And, hey, come here, I got you. You know, that's the thing that has to be taken on. That's the thing that has to be the learned behavior of the black community. Because guess what? Yeah, you're going to have strifes. You're going to have things but how are you going to be able to let your man know that it's okay now? I have forgiven you now. If you have no warm embrace, you don't have that anymore? You feel me? It is a wrap. So that's not to say no mistakes ain't going to happen. That ain't going to say that a man that ain't going to find out, oh man, I should have put that woman in her place. That don't mean he ain't going to let her do it. However, where's the warm embrace for the, hey, you know what? It's okay though. We still in this together, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. But you need to know to put that woman in her place. And the thing is, that faith in knowing that we gonna get through this. That's the thing that disappeared. Like we don't got that no more.
That's out the window.
Yeah, I should know.
We don't have faith in each other at all. It's like we ready for the end. We're ready for the breakup, the divorce. We just ready for it. Every given moment, we just like, I knew it was gonna happen. They already knew anyway. We ready for that. It's like we more ready for the breakup than we are ready for the fight to keep it going good. That is a fight to keep it going.
No, she meaning the fight to stay in the relationship, to know we're built with what it takes to withstand this shit.
Right, it ain't easy. You know, it's just not. You know, and I see a lot of people on Facebook saying how I'm not finna do all what a man is with a man is with a man, but that lets me know. Back, you know, it just lets me know the generations they in, because the younger generation, it's like them girls, they ain't going. You know, they want you to already have your shit together, have your money together, have your mind together, or they ain't fucking with you. That's them younger generations. It's like us 30s, 40s, we put that fight in for the man we wanted. These young girls, they ain't doing that.
I have to
have your bag or I'm gone.
I even have to say, we like the balance beam though, because sometimes we ain't going, sometimes we is going. The older generation, older than us, those are the ones that fought a little better, but the ones above them, they fought great.
They did.
They put forth our grandparent style. Those were the ones that's like, wow.
Right, and they call them, the new generation call them stupid. They were just being stupid. I ain't gonna do that with no nigga. I ain't gonna do that with no bitch. That's what they do. They're like, I'm not gonna do all that. But if we don't do all that, how would you ever heal or get past that pivotal moment that we need to get through? Because like we throw in the towel so quick. Mm-hmm. Be like, I'm not gonna put up with this shit, and then we gone.
But yet, even once they gone, you still want the same thing out of life that you saw your grandma and grandpa have. Mm-hmm. Like that's the weird thing. No one knows the work grandma and grandpa put in, because by the time we say grandma and grandpa, we miss the hard working days. They raised their kids in order for you to get it.
Now let me make clear, I'm not saying put up with beating on no kind, beating, verbal abuse. I'm not saying stick around for that. I'm just saying you just little things like I say, can you find the word now? Abandonment issues, stuff like that you can work through, but I'm not saying stick around with your man knocking your ass upside the head. I'm not saying put up with that. No. Okay, so
I think
just
more
don't get me confused.
More communicate so that you know you're dealing with a person that has abandonment issues.
Right.
Because if you know that this person has abandonment issues, all you have to do is let them know, no, this argument ain't finna make me leave. I'm just talking with you. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get my point across. Those are the things you're gonna have to emphasize. With that. Right. Yeah. Those are the things you're gonna have to emphasize. No matter what the point is you're trying to address.
And stop trying to get a rise out of people. Because some people, damn well you ain't finna leave, but yeah, you're going to sit there and say you're going to leave like you're going to leave, no, you ain't trying to get a rise out of somebody else.
Right, and all you're doing is damaging them more. Like, you're creating an abandonment. You're creating an abandonment issue for them, just for instance, if y'all ever do break up. So now the next person he end up with, that's going to be his biggest worry. Don't do that to somebody. You know, why don't we get together to tear each other down? Right. You can do bad all by yourself. So why do that?
Right.
But like I say, so now we have something strong enough that begins with the nurturing, the women nurturing, and
I ain't good. I need some more.
A man will typically say, "This is my home." If he left from one woman nurturing to the next woman he took on, and she had the natural ability to nurture his needs, not just spoil him, not do this, that, and the third, not take care of him like his mama did, cleaning up his dishes and shit like that. However, you find a lot of women in that place instead of the nurturing, and the man take it. You be like, you know what? Fuck it. I ain't getting nurtured, but she sure clean up after me. Is that really what's necessary in a world where our children are being killed? Police feel like it's okay. It's laws that's protecting them from going to prison with the people that they arrested. However, they just only lose their job. These are the things that we trying to find. What would rebuild it? Because no matter how wrong we point out that it is, we still tearing up the community from the inside out. So how could the outside even care what you're doing? You get what I'm saying? They're going to be like, hey, I'm going to join in and help you. But that's the thing. Sometimes it's forces that are aligned with everything that you pushing out. And there's so many forces. Like, we're going to call this force the laws of the universe. You can't have a powerful position like a spouse and treat your partner like they ain't shit. Because it's a powerful position, it's a title. right? And the universe is a title, right? For forces as well that work together. And now they will join in with what has been decreed by y'all choice to start tearing this person down. Little by little. Ain't nothing gonna come back to that individual. The only thing we want for this individual is death. And that is what we are purveying as the message that we want for black men, for black children.
Right.
Because some of those children are going to be future men.
Right. Yeah, they make it.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, the black man is the strongest thing that we got in our community right now. You know, we ain't got what was a mass destruction. We ain't got a whole lot of this, a whole lot of that. All we got is the black man. You see what I'm saying? So for y'all to be on Facebook or in life, real life, arguing and fighting over stupid shit, the only weapon we got, black people, that's it. That's the only weapon we got. And we tear it down, we misuse it, we misguide it, we throw it away, we dismiss it. And then we left with a puddle, a mushy mess in our hand, and then we want to throw that mushy mess out there into the world and say that, do something.
Right. Put a lot of accountability in his hands. Save me. It's like...
Well, we never even did our part in making sure he was strong enough to get out there and really do what he had to do. And
that's what the nurturing is all about. Now, I want to give you some examples of what nurture is so that I could distinguish between nurturing and spoiling, right? Like, so for instance, you know this is your man. You know how he carry himself, his bravado, his et cetera, right? And you love it, da-da-da-da-da. But when he goes into the world and faces an issue, when he comes to you to bring forth that issue, instead of being dismissive or let him, trying this and trying that, well, listen, no matter what you went through, I'm still doing this. So for instance, it's some women that get straight nasty with them. Like, you know what happened with you? Here, come get this, boy, because you still mine. That gives him a bit of confidence to push on. And now what happened in our generation that didn't happen in our grandparents' generation, if you're mad at your man, he leaves the house and goes for his walk back in the day, he's going to encounter some racial shit out there and come back fucked up. She drops that shit and puts that shit to the side. Come here, baby. Hey, it's okay. Right. Look, coddle baby. Come here, baby. It's okay. It's okay. Right? Because I should still have acceptance no matter what I did, because as long as I ain't killed nobody, right? You know what I'm saying? As long as I ain't did this, that, and the third, that is the democracy we live in, right?
That's true.
Right.
But we need to have that for each other.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
We go out there and we face some shit too, because now, like I say, now we gotta go out there, we gotta work. Yeah. You know, so we face a lot of injustices and racisms and hard this and hard that. So we out there in the work world now as well. So we have to have that same thing when we come home. Right. And we ain't just in the home no more like we used to be. We out there grinding like our men grinding. So it's like we need to take care of each other.
Well, I know my grandma worked. You know, your grandma worked.
Yeah.
So they, as far as I know, they wasn't just at home. You know what I'm saying? But to maintain what they had. What I'm saying is that understand as women, you are targeted by the men of other races as a sexual creature, right? Like, as well as men, we are targeted by women of the other races as a sexual creature. However, when you're the male brute force being faced by a male group of people with brute force, you know, and to come home and then see, you're still in America. Yeah, you're going to face other women. They're not as powerful in this position. And I'm not giving nothing to make light. Yes, you should listen to your women. Your women are feeling like they're not being heard. Your women are feeling like, okay, well, like he didn't hear me, so why should I hear him? Right. That's how they're feeling. They're feeling like their whole thing has been dismissed. So they're going to meet you with dismissive things. However, she was never expected to protect the home. I was. Right. You get what I'm saying? Like, so now we're doing a tit for tat thing, making the male weaker. And now you're going to have George Floyd incidents. That dude didn't cry out for nobody that could possibly help him. What he touched into the sympathies. He actually even showed what was necessary in his screams and cries. Mama! Right? It ain't no lie to it. He acted that out very well. I don't know if it really happened, but you know what I'm saying? If it did happen, man, that was on point. Like, you ain't lying. That is what we need. That is everything in the crime is what the world needs. Right? Beyond the crime, right? You know what I'm saying? You're killing this man. You know what I'm saying? But everything in the crime is what the world needs. We need the police to understand how they're doing us. we need the nurture from our women, right? Like, because we grown now,
right.
Our women that are our peers don't see that we need that.
We need the strength from our man. We ain't gonna get there if we keep tearing them down.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now you don't have a security force. So, because I'm going to tell you, a man that's walking around and his woman to whom he loves dearly, probably can't show it, but to whom he loves dearly, and she don't like this motherfucker no more, or whatever the case may be, he looks vulnerable to other men. You know, it's like ghosts. Okay, like let's just say in a movie when a ghost see that you can see them, like hold up, you can see me, right? Like it's the same way when a person is walking out there vulnerable, right? We can see that a man is vulnerable. He could be manipulated right now. Mm-hmm. He could be this and he could be that. Listen, man, what I'm saying is for our young black youth as well. These guys are out here gang banging like hell with other people that are going through the same shit they going through. There's no fix from that. Right. There's no healing that's going to be addressed in that. But what we need is a healing that's so big. It is so big that the world will feel the effect of it.
Right. Basically, we need black men and black women to stand the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let go of all the petty arguments, all the petty bullshit, all the tit for tat, all the you hurt me first, so I hurt you back. We have to drop all that because we dying out here in these streets. So all that shit we be fighting over and arguing about and bitching about, we have to drop it and save our kids, period. We have to get to talking constantly, you know, about how we gonna maneuver through this and get our kids off the streets, out the gangs. Teach them better. Teach them about themselves, who they are, because them not know who they are. They fall into the gang and the gang violence and the I'm a thug. No, you're not a thug. But who else to tell them they ain't? So they do what they told by the streets, because you ain't there to tell them otherwise.
And watch for poverty speech. Like, so when your children is saying, "I'm finna go fuck this motherfucker up," poverty is a word representing destruction. Okay, it don't have nothing to do. Well, its secondary thing is the finance, but it's the destruction of one's own finance. Destruction is all that is a representation of poverty. So, women, when you hear your young man say, "I'm gonna go out here and beat this motherfucker," go grab your son and embrace him, baby. It's okay. Right. It's okay. You don't have to do that. You feel me? This is beyond just the men, because what I'm saying, you hear your son do it, he gonna be that man one day too. Go embrace him. You get so many chances over and over again to see the same thing you needed to do when first it was the man. You know, hey, when we all just out here having fun together, ain't nobody running into these encounters. But it's only when you're vulnerable that you get these encounters.
It's like we don't have reverence or respect for one another. Because like I see all the time on Facebook and in the streets, people be like, I don't care. I don't fuck with nobody else. They come with my kid, I'm gonna fuck their ass up. They talk about the same person as them. This ain't no white person. This ain't no Mexican. This ain't no Chinese. It's another black person. So it's like, when do y'all stop and say, let's talk this out?
It ain't a lion. Look, it ain't a tiger or a bear.
And the person you want to beef with don't know how to communicate or don't know how to talk, don't fuck with them. Just leave it alone. But to do all that extra beefing and arguing and then the street wars and the shooting and the shoot outs and I'm gonna fuck this bitch when I see her. That's just too much. It don't need to go that far. Cause that's poverty. Cause we can never progress if we keep on degressing in that direction. It's like, and that's what we live for. And people say, I see females on Facebook, I ain't fucking with y'all no more. I'm a boss bitch. I'm making money moves. I'm on my money tip. But then you still entertaining all the bullshit in the street. I don't be understanding how you keep on Facebook and holler at what you doing, but evidently you not, because you still a part of drama. I ain't in no drama here in McKenzie. None. Yeah. Because I'm doing my shit. Yeah. I am actually doing what the fuck I say I'm doing. For you to say what you out here doing, but evidence showing that you really out here with the drama. Because drama keep coming to you. Yeah. I don't understand it. Get on your money shit, raise your kids, and then you won't have no drama.
That's a fact.
Period.
Like I say, poverty thinking is gonna come one way or another. See, drama.
It ain't poverty.
Drama is distracting you from the building of your community, your home, your this, your that, and the third. You know, from chasing after that next position at your job. You know what I'm saying? Because the dramas at work got you. You know, let those dramas go. Understand that where you are is because of what you've been chasing. So if we as a black people are in a terrible place, it's because we've been chasing after the wrong things. And so you see it on a large scale, that poverty has escaped control, they're going to say things now like black on black crime. They're going to say things now like another black suspect accused in the blah blah. You know, your articles are going to reflect the fact that we don't have the natural nurturing. So, for instance, let's just say that may touch on the white girl's sympathies and say, well, I can start nurturing these men. Right? But they are
really
doing
think they can, but they really can't. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let y'all know, white ladies. Y'all can't.
That's and that's a woman's point of view. I can't
sure
tear
is.
that down.
It's mine.
However, when that man going to get that nurturing for that moment, it's going to get him what he wanted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and so you have more instances where, let's just say these white girls talk to each other. Like, girl, all I did was hug him when it was bad.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna say I got clear evidence, but I do have some evidence that they ain't doing no better than us.
Okay.
You know, because like I say, what black men need, it's not just only the nurturing. You know, so white women, that's where they step in. They step in on the nurturing end. But yeah, you can clearly see that's not all they need because they still not satisfied.
Yeah, because the nurturing has to be of your own. It has to. You get what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I'm settling for it for the moment, but the nurturing when it's of my own. You really are showing me that my own understand me. My big issue is, as a black man, I am different. However, I have a majority of people around me that don't understand me. It make me like, am I speaking alien? However, my directive comes from a different place because I have a job to do as a leader.
Right.
I have a job to do as a father. I have a job to do as a husband, right? Like, so I'm talking to people about building, but all they know is destruction.
Right.
I'm speaking to a bunch of people that are used to poverty. In fact, they've accepted it and embraced it. But the thing is, we have to fight against it because this is the root, what I see, the root of what we're claiming our condition is.
Right.
So at the end of the day, here I am addressing whatever, and everybody's saying, oh, dude, you crazy. But what I said could have took us light years ahead of everything else. And then, instead of me giving up, I could have had an embrace at home from a nurturer. Like, baby, I heard you, right? Here, come here. We gonna figure it out. You gonna find your crowd.
Right.
But sometimes she in a situation where she made to feel like the all ball. Because she be like, man, half the time, I didn't understand that shit either. But, right? But we're making it so normal that we don't put in the effort or the work to understand.
Right.
That is a job and a task to work and understand what the next person is saying.
Exactly.
So that we could grow as a community, because what someone is saying is going to change the face of our community. We should recognize destructive speech right away, but we embrace that. Why? Because we have enjoyed poverty. We love it. We love tearing up. So we want to tear some shit up. It is so easy to tear things up because, listen, let's even take if you go get a bulldozer and knock over a building, you could do it in no time. If you go get explosives and explode the Twin Towers, it happens in a second, as long as you put the explosives where they're supposed to be. But to go back and build the Twin Towers, they said, nah, we just gonna put a memorial here, okay? Because that is a difficult task. It takes time to do. Just like this video, it may be long, but it takes time to allow people to embrace these ideologies. This is real. This is real in account of us learning what the laws of the universe have shown. Listen, if we have shown each other, tear down, fuck each other up, then eventually the rest of the forces in the world are going to join in that same action, under that same narrative. We may not have a cause to why we began doing that in the first place. However, the world is going to join in. So what I'm saying, let's say, now I do know the cause. If you brought black people over here in this continent to a whole area to hang them, burn them, do this and do that, and you do it for hundreds of years, you have then taught us to do it. Right. So, but I'm accepting our accountability and our responsibility at the moment of having so-called freedom. So now we showing y'all, do it even harder than what y'all did it in slavery. And it seems to me that the true black wish is a death wish. It doesn't seem that there is a true black wish for life, because the people who wanted that life are now gone. They are dead. They died out of natural causes, God bless the fact they had
now
that.
Now y'all just want to be led.
Right.
Y'all don't want to be leaders. Y'all want to be led by the next whoever coming in the office.
You expect a savior.
Right. Right. But you don't want to say it yourself. But y'all want somebody else to come in here and say y'all. Then when they don't do that, y'all get upset.
And then when your
savior,
savior,
you in the first place.
When your savior is then put in your face, what you do is argue his mentality. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be so tired of the energy he's drained of in this argument. I don't even want this fight no more. So look at what's being caused here. Women, just embrace these men. Stop asking them all these goddamn questions. Did you see something about him when you met him? Like, did you think he was God's gift to your life? And under that...
Men need to hold that same standard when they come into the woman's life, though, because I'm just going to say, sometimes men trip and fall and fuck up, and they make women see them how they see them because they don't come in and they don't hold the same standard they should have been holding in the first place.
I'm going to have to watch this video to know what I was finna say now. But, yeah, I get you. You know, this is about women.
You said, because you were saying that we should, you said hold and embrace them. That the man you wanted? Hey, he had good characteristics that you liked when you first started talking to him, and this and that.
Okay, now let's jump in there. So now, when that circle is not accepting him, but yet you know what you got with him for. Mm-hmm. This ain't the personal things between y'all. Yeah, that's gonna cause some strife. But when you see where he goes out in this world and introduces the world to his ideas that he may think can save the world, women, now I question you. What did you get with the man for?
Right.
Did you think, man, he could take us to better heights? Did you see it just on a selfish level, or did you see it from a community level? Mm-hmm. Did you see that he could do this, that, and the third? And when the world ain't hearing him, embrace him and say, it's okay, we just got to find your audience. We got to find your crowd.
Right. I hear that.
When we find yours, then it will begin to happen. However, that doesn't mean that I want my woman to do the work of all those people who didn't listen. You know, I don't want her to engage in all the faculties that they should have. Right. I have to find my crowd.
Right, and that's why I was just building on what you just said about how when he go out there and try to talk to the world and the world don't accept him, she's supposed to embrace him and this and that. Okay.
With the natural nurturing thing.
But all I was saying was he needs to make sure he keep her in the spot to where she can do that.
Now.
Because once he take her out of that spot, she can no longer do that for him.
Well, the only thing that can move a woman out of a woman's place is the woman. However, what I mean, however, as a man, if she tell me about the community and what they did to her, I should be on 10 finna go up there and blow some shit up, right? Because I am the voice to make sure that my woman is heard. They have worked for centuries to make sure that this voice was deep and loud and prominent, right? So when it speaks, that motherfucker should cast attention, and they'll be like, oh God, well, she got representation, you know? That's the big thing. She shouldn't have to develop something in her, another gear, because she won't be able to turn it off for you. If she's developed this other gear because you didn't do what you were supposed to do, you know, she won't be able to turn it off for you. Mm-hmm. So that's when you're going to start losing that position that you're supposed to have held high. When you just, I say off with these motherfuckers' heads, their heads need to go off. Right? Like, but she's going to lose that what she has for you. But the thorough thing is, women don't need to keep trying these different steps. It's just a woman, as well as it's just a man. A man shouldn't be trying to nurture. A woman shouldn't be trying to nature. Right? We doing what we all got to do to bring more to the table. I get that. This is the time frame we in. You live in a society where a person with a degree can't even get a job towards their degree. You don't think they need somebody's help, right? You know what I'm saying? So financially, but let me find out. Because listen, your woman's livelihood is also your livelihood if you're in the home together. That y'all married, that's your wife, that's your livelihood too. Go up there to that job.
The thing is, you know, conversation, whole thing. We just have to learn how to respect each other, opinions, ways of life, where they come from, and listen to each other. Because once you do that, then you start unlocking certain doors.
Absolutely. And
the person you will hand you certain keys to get to know them better. But if you're not a good listener or a good communicator, you will miss all of them, and y'all will be arguing and fighting and feuding.
And back with that and what I said, listen, a man is a representation of the community. that just begins how he starts. If it's that, he will then do it for the community as well, the community of women around him. So, for instance, I went to someone.
That's what we need.
I went to someone, a friend of ours' job, who got fired because she got children.
Right.
And I went off.
Upset.
She got upset with me. I'm like, whoa, right? I'm a man.
This is what we say we want out of black men. But when black men go and do it, that's not what you wanted.
Right.
You don't want representation. You don't want nobody to have your back and
Right.
stand up for you. Let people know that she got people behind her. You
Right.
don't want that.
Because you have the strongest force behind you now. You feel me? Like, I think a short black man is an anomaly. Like, this is nothing wrong with short black men. But I'm like, what? Something happened. Right? Because we come out like, boom. We get that growth spurt when we start sleeping too much. And then something incredible happens. You look over and you say, I'm going to be saved. However, in the same quotient, I'm going to moms now. You tearing down the thing that you supposed to be saved by? Going to wives now. You tearing down the thing that you supposed to be saved by? Now we get to the children. What they supposed to do now? They acting they part way too young.
Also say you tearing down. They supposed to nurture you and
right, but we talk about the protection aspect. These are going to be longer. I may forget my point if I had to stretch them out that much.
Oh, okay.
But please imagine this for your perspective. I read books, and if it's about all women, I'll imagine what a man would do in that situation too, if it happened to him. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You know, that may be an ability I'm blessed
I only
with.
do that because I know how women is. If women only hear one way, they're gonna be like, "What about this?" So you have to also throw in the other way to stop the arguing, so y'all can hear the point.
Right. But the main thing that we're trying to achieve is that face of leadership in your community.
Right.
That makes other authority figures, races, whatever the case may be, a little nervous in a different way. Because right now they nervous because they're stepping into a neighborhood called destruction, called poverty, called, you know what I'm saying, like the bottom, right? So they going into the trenches. But when us as men, the representation that you're wanting can't do it for you. Like I say, if I'm in a position, I couldn't have did that for that friend if I wasn't in a position to do it for her as well. You feel what I'm saying? Like, shit, she ain't had nothing like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, wait, you got fired because you got babies? Who in the world ain't got a mama? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you not understand that situation? Just because he was a little pressed and couldn't get somebody to come to work, okay, now you got to take it out on her.
Right.
Right? That is not what we do. We should not come taking our days out on our women. Right? However, like I say, is a situation, just some situations don't require opinions. Everybody got an opinion like everybody got an asshole. Right? You know what I'm saying? But only a select few have a real ear to listen. And hope that person vented it out. You get what I'm saying? Like,
and that's something I had to learn. I'm very opinionated, you know. So him saying that over and over again, I had to finally understand, like, should I say something here or should I just be here, you know, in the moment with him? So it takes a time. It takes a time to learn that. Then sometimes I still don't know when to say something or not say something. Sometimes I say something when I shouldn't have said something. And I could tell, like, I don't know if I should have said
yeah, but they're the danger line things that we aren't aware that we should ask. Like a psychiatrist helps you with those things. How did that make you feel?
Right.
That's your woman? That should have came from her. You know? And we had
freaking psychiatrist.
We had therapy one time. And we used to have a guy, and two of my cousins came as well. They were females. And the way he listened to her, I got a little jealous. The fuck? You know? I'm like, hold on. But at the end of the day, I learned from him how to ask the questions. However, what I also learned from her is when she's mad at me, it ain't gonna give me that answer. It's gonna be, what you mean? How I make you feel?
Should fucking know.
Right, you know? Like, so, it's one of those deals. But again, that's a nurturing thing. He presented as a male. I don't know if he was gay or not. He did kind of have a vibe.
He did.
But he showed a male that this required a little nurture. All right, I ain't nurtured type. I'm not. She ain't never known me to be that. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? However, right, that don't mean I can't listen and I can't ask the right questions.
Right.
You know, after a while with doing it so long, it doesn't even seem like nurturing anymore. It's just asking the damn question. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, because mind you, nurturing still gonna come with another part. How'd that make you feel? Because then that would show her what she would need to do. I felt toe up, like I ain't shit. Come here, baby. You the shit to me. You feel me? But we can't get there regarding certain issues because so many women are prepared to knock off that duty of nurture because you took on the same duties we have. In fact, some of y'all feel like y'all can do it better than us.
Right.
You know, some of y'all feel like y'all can protect women better than us.
Oh yeah,
you know,
that's what's going with the
right.
LGBTQPs about.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I want to touch on that too. She said the LGBTQ agenda. And that right there, like, let's just stick specifically with Black Lives Matter when talking about that. As long as you are a heterosexual male running your home, it is dead to them. Nope, I don't even want no parts in that. That's giving in to how it's unpopular. Nobody's gonna fuck with this. What are you talking about? You're a man.
Right, and you're a woman.
Right.
You know, you were put here to produce life, to bring life, not to stop it. I don't understand y'all. I don't get y'all. I don't get it. I don't know how y'all think that's right. Or because you was told it was right. Because I ain't gonna step on nobody's toes, but we ain't bumping no coochies, you know. You was put here to produce other children and kids to keep the life going and keep this going. And y'all just don't even want to do that no more. Y'all just want to just be like, I want to be with her because she get me. No, the black man get us too, but we have to learn how to communicate with him. Like, he has to learn how to communicate with us because we just two different species trying to become one in one household and raise a whole black nation.
Right. And and then we level up. Like, so for instance, I have had several different level ups in my life. One time I decided, okay, I know how to handle myself in the hood, but let me learn how to handle myself around doctors, you know, lawyers and shit.
Right.
And
we had that talk.
Right, but I'm sharing it with them. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so here we are. I want to learn how to deal with doctors and lawyers. And when I then established, there is a regular me in this environment, right? But because our environments are filled with so much trauma, it is like, man, I'm tired of this trauma. That's where I got to. But then experiencing the doctor and lawyer situation, I then reached back several times trying to pull people into this light. But when you're addressing it and talking about it, nobody really want to mess with it. They, nah, that ain't for me.
Right.
But that don't mean that this person weird now, or they done sold out now. They leveled up. I did it with religion.
Right.
Tried to reach back for a couple of my friends, like, hey, come on with me. They like, nah, I did that already. Well, no, I'm not under the same path that you talking about. You know what I'm saying? Come with me so we can do this together. And I'm not saying my path is better than yours, but let's go under this together. Nobody really want to be going by themselves. So what do that do? They end up, when this person level up, he jumps back into poverty. And he knows very well where he at now because he thought about how he need to get out this situation.
Right.
And knows very well where he is now. And back in poverty, back tearing shit down and don't even feel right. It's like when Incredible Hulk merged with Banner and he was all like, when they went back to the past, and he was like, well, you're going to have to tear a little shit up too. He was like, seems a little gratuitous.
Right,
and he was all like, that's the mentality, the person that came back down into poverty. They leveled all the way back down to get to this.
Right, and I want to also add that when you with your spouse or person, girlfriend, whoever, and if they not trying to push you to be a better person, and they try to say, oh, why you doing all that? That's too much. That person, you not to be with that person because that person is not going to build you up to the person you need to be. Because why? Because they're scared to be who they need to be, so that to keep themselves from growing, they're going to keep you down there with them.
Yeah.
That's what I have experienced, you know. So
it's scary because growth. That is what we're saying we need to do as a nation.
Right.
We need to grow.
And that's natural as people, period. We need to grow.
Right. It's growth. Growth is a blessing that establishes that you are alive. Plants that reach the female phase when they blossom out, they know the next phase is death. So the male phase is why they growing. They growing. Oh shit! But then when they blossom out,
Right.
they know the next phase is death. So they live their life accordingly.
That's like
This
trees.
year by
The
year.
trees was afraid
Yeah.
to grow to their next levels in life. We won't have no freaking shade. We won't have no shade, no lumber, no this, no that. So we have to not be afraid of our growth and just grow and then see what happens when we get there. But to stagnate it and try to stop everybody from around you from growing,
Yeah.
you weak. You
Yeah.
know?
But that's, we're choosing the life of leaves instead of the life of trees. That's basically it. Them trees is probably, the leaves is probably very worried. Like, this season gonna be over quick. But that tree, they're like, nah, I'm gonna be here.
Right.
You feel me? They gonna take a hell of a wind to knock me down, right? But we are now being knocked down by a gentle breeze.
Right. Everything in nature shows us how to be.
Right.
Because when we first got here, that's how we learned how to eat. In the first place, we watched animals, we watched nature.
Right.
So then, like, why we quit watching nature? Like I say, trees ain't stopped themselves from growing. They kept growing. So watch nature. Nature keeps growing. Nature keeps changing, maturing, and this and that. And we don't. We stop ourselves from doing all that because fear, scared.
Comfort. What's the deal?
That too.
Yeah, like you comfortable being this tall or this knowledgeable or this,
Right.
that. How you think your knowledge is suiting you? Not what you follow. Because look, when you know what's hip, ain't nothing knowledgeable about what's hip. That's just
Right.
communication. I know how people talk. Da.
Right.
But how about to gain things in life? You know what I'm saying? Like, you sometimes have to watch what you lacking in doing in the process. Everything ain't about race. Some
Right.
things is about how you didn't follow procedure properly. You get what I'm saying? Like, of course you wouldn't receive the same things as the next person if you didn't follow procedure properly.
Right.
But what we do, we'll tend to fall on the race card. If we got rid of the race card, and then we would ask the question instead of being in the room with the people and feeling like, oh, this is racial pressure. You would probably ask the question, well, what should I have done to do this? Somebody's going to address you. They're going to be like, no, first you should have did this. If you got that done, we'd be hearing everything you saying. And then they're going to leave that there. You're going to go get that done, and then you're going to come back and there's still something missing. You still skipping a step, but all they told you was first because you could only do one thing at a time. Right? First you should have did this. And then you get back, now they're going to be like, now you got to do this. Then when you come back that next time, they be like, now we hear you. But we give up on shit so easily. Why? Because we lack the work ethic to do all the work it takes
Because
to get
we want to
shit
be
done.
accepted for who we is, the way we is. That's why we don't put the work in. We give up so easy. People ain't going to accept you just giving half-ass work, half-ass presentations, half-ass you, when I know it's more to you than what you're giving me.
Right.
I want to see more.
Right.
You know, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with
That's
us
big.
pulling more out of people? People shy away from that when that happens. Like I said, I don't got many friends because I'm pull the more out of you.
Yeah.
And so they typically come around one time, 2 or 3 times, they don't come around no more. And that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, because that lets me know you shouldn't be in my circle in the first place because you don't want to grow.
They lack work ethic.
Right.
Look, if I'm a hard worker, that's instantly going to make you unattractive if you a lazy person.
Right.
Like, you like, I dare this motherfucker work hard.
Right.
I dare this motherfucker achieve goals. I'm going to tell you, just working on my YouTube channel, I then was able to separate my peers. Some of them were like, that ain't going to work. You ain't going to be able to do that. How do you know?
Right.
Let's put the effort out there. And it started as easy as QR codes.
That's the most wackest shit.
Yeah.
Anybody could ever say to somebody, that's not gonna work. Why you doing that? You too old. You shouldn't have. That's the most wackest shit you can say. If you ain't got nothing positive to say about somebody, dream, zip your lip. Because to say what they can't do, because you don't want to fucking go out there and put yourself on the line, don't tell somebody what they can't do. That is the most hurtful, harmful thing we can do as black people.
Right. Tearing each other down. Because listen,
All the time.
from poverty, we can tear some shit up. So you tearing a person up now, and you don't even recognize you're doing it because you using poverty. You don't even know you're in poverty.
Right. Even to the sense that when you know somebody in your family, I'm finna go for my family right now. I don't care how y'all feel about it. Somebody in your family have talent out there in a pinky finger. They got talent. They is shooting out everything in them. But instead of them going for what they know how to do, they settle for grocery store jobs, restaurant jobs, mediocre shit, when you got super talented to be the next best whatever, you settle for that, and then not only that, the adults that is around also helps them settle to be less.
Mm-hmm.
That shit pisses me off more than anything. That's why, like I say, folks don't come around me. That is including my family. Cause I'm gonna push you. I'm gonna push y'all to be more.
Yeah, you should expect the best from your people that you believe are the best.
Right, and I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see you got talent. It ain't like I'm just trying to say, girl, what you good at? Let's see
We
if
gonna
that
dig in and
works.
figure it out. No,
Right,
you ain't
no, I
doing
can
that.
clearly see you got talent.
Right.
So why are you working at some mediocre ass job when I can see clearly that you got talent to be your name in lights? You can be living the fabulous life if you took your talent and did something with it, but yeah, you wouldn't go work a regular on 9 to 5 and make somebody else rich. I can't, and I'm not finna enable that either.
That's the value of nurturing. I know what you here for. Do that.
Right. That's what I do.
I know what you here for. Do that.
Period.
Stop doing all this other stuff. We
Period.
got you. We here for you. Come on. I'll make a pot of soap. You got, yeah, big okay. That's the value of nurturing. But what is lacking right now, right? No one is nurturing no one. And that should have been the simplest part of the woman's job.
And then when, like I said, when the nurturer come along, try to nurture, oh, she get downplayed,
Right,
put down, scorned. You think you better? You think you on this high horse? Cause I want my family to be better. I want to break these generational curses that we've been under for so long. I don't get
Keeping
it.
up with this modern shit. You know what I mean? You will be out here like, you be, oh, that ain't what's cool right now. What you doing? Right? You setting yourself and your people so far behind because you setting the standard of what's cool. Like, oh man, I don't even want to make this about music, but music says it. Like when the mumble rap came, you either gonna mumble rap or you ain't gonna be famous.
Right.
When this sing rap came, you either gonna sing rap or you ain't gonna be famous.
I don't like sing rap. Cause I'm an '80s kid. You know, I like rap. I want to hear the bass in the voice. I want to hear that's a man. I want to hear all that. I want to feel all that.
Yeah.
That's just me. Yeah. You know, that's just me. What these young girls want, these new generation work, I don't know what y'all want, but to water down men, make them sound more effeminate, and make their voices sound more softer, I don't get it. I don't like it. I like the bass. I like the deepness. I like that.
Right.
I don't want to hear a man rapping, but sound like, is that a man or a woman? Yeah. I don't want to hear no softness never when it comes to a man. I want to, because that's just who I am. I'm not one of these new age girls out here who want their men in skinny jeans and pink shirts.
Right.
No.
We're
not gonna do that.
That's so scary, because I mean, man, we live in a society where when the group do it, an instance of one person doing something different, you can obviously see is working for them in a better way. But because the group ain't doing it, you don't find it cool. You say, nah, that ain't for me. But the thing is if your thing that's happening is not providing you the finer things in life, your life is telling you you need to do something different, but you ain't listening to your own life. I think that's why lives tell on
people do something different.
Right.
This shit we've been doing, it's not getting us nowhere.
The whole world is following what's happening to black people. I'm going to be as real as to say, the things that black people are doing to each other in Chicago damn near dictates to the whole world how to treat black people. Chicago Crime Watch is a tab on Fox News. You can follow that right now. And they're going to be like, whoa. And then the rest of the world can see it. You don't even got to go on their website fully to find out what it's talking about. You can find it on Google. Again, why do we feel like we could do this new shit better than the people that's bringing the new shit into the picture can do it? We can't. We do tradition. We hold tradition so strong, people will go back to it. They'll be like, no, that ain't what the black folks doing.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We so bomb and we rock so much that we don't understand how much we rock or how bomb we are. We set the tone, the pace, the tempo, the temperature for everything. But yet we don't understand that. And so folks just come in, snatch a little bit of us here, snatch some of us there, and put it in mainstream media, and the whole world go crazy when we were the ones who did it in the first fucking place. Right. Let's start capitalizing off of our own talents, our own skills, our own swag. Quit letting folks come in here and steal who we is, and we okay with that. Like I say, y'all let that Harris bitch come in here and steal who we is. We let Cardi B steal who we were. You know, cause just because y'all say she Afro Latino, I don't give a fuck. We let everybody come in here and steal who we are, and we don't do anything to represent who the fuck we is. We let Kim Kardashian steal us. Yeah. We let the little fucking Jenner girl steal us. Yeah. We let Miley Cyrus steal us. Yeah. We, like I say, now we go on to the Cardi B. We let Cardi B steal who we is. When are we gonna start representing ourselves? That's what I want to know. When? Because we let everybody else steal who we is, and we rock with them hard, rock with them tough. But soon a full black person come on and represent who they is, it gets nothing. Yeah. No likes, no views, no shares, no attention, no nothing. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Right. It's like y'all like being misrepresented by a whole other race of people who say they claim that they're black. Right. How could y'all rock so hard with Cardi B claiming she's black when a black girl come on who is black and she had to prove herself to y'all? Right. Right. I'm done. I don't get it.
That's big. That's major. Because now, what is the representation of black people?
Everybody else but black people.
Right. And so we showing how much we don't matter.
Right.
By not supporting people that, listen, I'm not getting the black folks support, but I got black kids, black wife, black this, black that. What's the problem? You know,
you ain't white enough.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it shouldn't matter what I'm talking about. How did that, like, that he always too deep. Well, maybe that's the problem.
But we as black people, we are deep. Right. I'm just gonna say we ain't shallow people at all. Right. We build fucking pyramids. We build irrigation systems. Right. We had electricity.
Made the cotton gin.
The fuck?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we all these people. Things that if we go a little further, a little deeper, a person like me may not be designed to create all these things. I may be designed to inspire the person that is going to do all those things. Exactly. And so that's where we have the disconnect. What we need representation. So, bam, you got, first off, let's stop chasing after a rapper. A po man. Listen, a dude that's showing his riches, flaunting it in your face, the motherfucker really broke.
As hell.
A person that has things don't show you nothing. You feel me? Like, I bought this because I'm gonna pass it down to my kid later down the line. This is the biggest thing. What's the ruby, the blue, the heart of the ocean? Yeah. From Titanic. That jewel was
the whole
locked. Diamond. There you go. That diamond was locked in a safe. He kept his valuables with him, but not on him. Mm-hmm. Right? Right. And she unlocked the safe, put it on so he could draw her. She was from poverty.
No, she wasn't.
Yes, she was.
Oh yeah.
She was from poverty. Her husband was the dude. He was from that the what we call riches. Mm-hmm. But when you start statusing people, putting people on levels and over here and over there, that's only a poverty condition. Right. Listen, politicians, it's only one thing. They're ruling and governing and guiding over people in poverty. Right. Everybody else basically that's arguing what level you on, they managing that. Right. And there's some people over them that's managing the politicians. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, they ain't political at all. They just got that bread. Right. And as long as you keep putting this seat, I'll send you $50,000 a month. $50,000 a month. So we fall for it.
Right. We need to know where we come from. Mm-hmm. Period. We come from greatness. Great minds, great thinkers, great philosophers, great doctors. We come from greatness. Mm. Until we understand where we come from, we will forever be subjected to everybody else's opinions about us and the way they move us and sway us until we understand who we are as people. And that's great people. Like I said, we build pyramids, irrigation systems. We don't need nobody to survive on this planet but ourselves. But we need everybody else to fucking breathe.
Right, because we want money. We want money for the things that the world needs. Keep making things the world needs, you're going to get money.
Right.
You know, however, don't fall short in believing in yourself. And then when you think about where you came from, man, black people were being very oppressed in the 50s and 60s. But look how they dressed. We over here rocking a t-shirt and some fucking jeans and expect respect.
Well, yeah. We could wear that sheets. I could wear a loincloth. I
get that too.
I demand respect because that's who I am by nature.
I get that
Cause
too.
I never felt like we should have to fit into the white man norm to be respected.
Right, but as
that's
you
why
visualize,
I rock my naturals and my 3 dyes. I rock all that because I'm gonna let you know that I'm gonna be all me all the way, and I'm gonna still get the respect that I deserve because I don't have to look like the white woman to gain respect. I don't have to straighten my hair and all that the bullshit because I ain't doing it.
But as we visualize what's happening to us, and we like, oh, okay, we treat ourselves like a little less than this, and da 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 da. Go back to the 50s and 60s. They were dressed to the nine. They had on suits, ties, this, that, and the third. Wouldn't leave the house any type of way. So what I'm saying is that we at that time we are targeted in this way. At this time,
they were still targeted dressed to the nine.
Right, they were targeted in this way back at that time. But in this time, we kind of putting the energy out there. Target me like this. And it ain't got nothing to do with how you dress. It got to do with your behaviors towards one another. Women, understand that you need nurturing from a nurturer as well. You have to get a grasp from a woman. Hey, go if your mom's still alive, please go lay on your mom. Right? Get you 5 minutes worth of love because you big grown now. Okay? Go get you 5 minutes worth of nurturing and stop expecting that it's gonna come from something that ain't built to do that.
Right. But you gotta understand too that some women mamas ain't gonna even allow that. So,
right. But your attempt, you grown now. She know you grown. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, your attempt is gonna be your attempt.
But
it may fall short.
Yeah. And some women don't even have that to do that with, but I get you.
Accept her and then give her the nurturing that you talking about. Like, damn, come here, Mo. It's gonna require that. Because some had forged out of the heat and the steel the woman that they needed to be in this world. And it's okay. However, once that virus of nurturing starts going through the black community like it needs to, because we are the creatures that talk about love more than anything, we, black folks, we always been loving folks.
But we ain't loving ourselves. We love everybody but ourselves.
Right.
That's sickness.
So you'll watch a black man go work and build a white man's dream, but he will not build his home.
Right.
You will watch a woman, black woman, go nurture everyone else, but won't nurture her black man. There's your answer. Is that a lot of work to do, y'all? Because you got to surpass all the psychological mind fucks that have happened over the years. You got to surpass all the Facebook questions that's being asked every day that's just going to cause a divide. You have to surpass so much.
Right. And black men, just know that you are the leading force in the black community, whether y'all want to believe it or not. Black women know that black men is the leading force in the black community, whether you want to believe it or not. Give them back their throne, their power, so they can do what they need to do because we can't do it. You know, we've been trying. So give them back they throne they need. And also, like I say, black men need to also understand that the power that you got, you have to also give that respect back to the woman. You can't just tear her down, this and that, thing. She don't keep building you up. That's all. That's my input.
Yeah, we've introduced the world where it take two. But guess how I got that way? Because us. We started dividing. It was like, well, shit, as long as them motherfuckers gonna divide, we'll always be on top of them. So guess what? Play your part. Nurture, nature. Do everything necessary to make sure that you're maintaining the presence in the home.
You know what I just thought about? Wow, everybody probably so confused. The Bible probably got everybody so confused thinking that the woman come from the man's rib. So we think he's supposed to love us more because we come from him. But scratch all that. We birthed the black man. So therefore, we gonna love him more than he loved us because we birthed him.
Yeah.
So how can he love us more when he came from us? See, the Bible got everybody confused thinking we come from the man.
Right.
But that's not what happened. So if we birthed the man to protect us and be our savior and our strength, why would we not now protect him and get him what he needs because we have been confused by that whole Adam story?
But that's our understanding on it. their understanding goes, okay, even if you keep a man as a slave, he gonna be unhappy as hell until you get him the thing that's closest to his heart. What's the thing closest to a man's heart? His woman.
Right. So change the story. Just change the story.
Right. Change the perspective.
You got to let go of that whole woman come from man rib.
Right, but change the perspective. Hopefully this is enough to put into your head. I know the perspective here. What are your ribs for? They guard your heart.
Yeah.
Hey, so bam. Oh shit. Dang. That woman is here to guard his heart. Because the things she been through way before us being here, she knew the hate in the world. Mm-hmm. She knew the this, that, and the thirds. Mm-hmm. But this a new creature. He don't. I'm going to guard his heart. He don't need no guarding for his muscles. He got beat up. He'll come back. He gonna heal and go back. Watch. Mm-hmm. He gonna keep fighting until he win. He gotta win one. I don't even tell the dude that he fighting against. You better let him win once, because you gonna get tired eventually. Right.
And another way how they trace lineage was through the mom. It was through the women. Like I said, it's so much miseducation out here. Everybody think it's always the man. It was the mom. It was the mother who set the tone for everything. That's how they know how old women are. The oldest woman was found in the world, and she produced everything else. Right. So when they traced it back, through the women line, not the men.
The only thing coming from men is mentality.
Right.
It's in the word. Heritage, H-E-R, her. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, mentality.
Right.
You feel me? Like,
we birthed the nation. We have to take care of the nation that we birthed. Right. Period.
Yeah.
Period. Like, women, get the fuck over it. We birthed the nation. We have to take care of the nation that we birthed.
Right. And you're going to pretend that anything we could do as black men can tear y'all down? No. Because we're secondary. If you remember your place, you're going to be like, nah, he can't tear us down. Something else must have gotten. Then you'll be like, most women would appreciate the man just for being in the fucking room. If he decided to stick around through all that BS.
Right.
I ain't like, hey man, he dealt with me when I dealt with my existence. Because that's all you had at first, your existence. Because all the haters are still there. Men are new to that. You get what I'm saying? So it's a different concept. So now, listen, being new to that, not having that understanding of that, we come strong. Boy, I wish I could get that boy up in here on camera, boy. That motherfucker built, boy. Hey, take your shirt off. We got to show him what it is. But at the end of the day, like, this is what we built as. We can keep on going. We can transform.
And men have the strength, the spirit of the strength and the durability that they need. And women, we have like the emotional strength that they need to keep going. We have the stamina to even hold the front line when the men need a break of shit. The voice and attitude that we can hold a line while they go get a break, and then they don't take it back over again. But we don't know how to play our parts right. We don't do it right. Yeah. We just try to take over all the way and take over the full control of everything. But like I say, everybody play their part. Man, we'll be on top again before we know it.
We'll be good. So just trusting the information we giving y'all, man. I mean, we discussed it in several different ways. We tried to come to it, but it kept bringing us back to the same point.
Yeah.
We like to share that point with y'all, and hopefully y'all can gain something from it. With that being said, y'all,
this been True Speaks.
We out.